fall from the outside looking in, looked like a last-minute addition to this past recruiting class, and definitely wasn't on the media side of things as touted as a Branson Robinson. Just wanted to know what you saw in him and what he brings to the table.
Comes from a good high school program. They won a state championship. He was 6 foot, 220 pounds, so he has great size, has good speed. He's a great kid, has a great family. Very, very quiet, hard worker. So he fits all the character things that we're looking for in our football players. And we also needed another running back. We always like to keep 5 on our roster. Our allotted number is 6. But we've been kind of short of that number because of the talent that we've had in the room. But he's just getting here. He wasn't a mid-year, so he's kind of behind from a mental standpoint. We'll get a chance to evaluate him further in the scrimmage on Saturday, which I know all our guys will be looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, following up on Paul getting in on a guy late like that, and I think Clemson was in the battle. It's a pretty good school. How does Georgia come into the scene that late and have the pull to get a guy like that that's, even though his star rating may not have been as high, was pretty sought after by championship programs?
Well, he has family from Georgia, so there was a connection there. And the running back tradition here speaks for itself. That tradition was developed way before I got here, and just getting in there the late month of December and the whole month of January, it led the opportunity of me getting to know him, getting to know his family, him getting to know me, and just what he wanted, goals and aspirations fit coming to Georgia.
Coach McGee, 2 questions. One, have you ever had a lot of running backs built like Branson Robinson? He seems a little bit different. And
Yeah.
second, can you tell us about some of the other guys on the team that you helped recruit? Everyone knows you as being the running backs coach, but there are a lot of guys on this team that, I don't know if you were the primary recruiter, but you were definitely in it. Can you give us some of those names?
Branson, the way he's built like a brick house. Doesn't have a neck. Just referring back to one of my teammates, Takeo Spikes. He's very similar from the shoulders up, built like Takeo Spikes. I mean, Nick Chubb was a good-looking student athlete as well. But Branson's more than just muscle. He's very dedicated. He works hard, obviously, in the weight room and strength and conditioning. But he's a sharp young man, and he's going to be relied upon this year. With the second question, as a staff, we have to go out and help recruit other positions. When I'm signing only 1 or 2 running backs, and I got a great relationship and rapport with high school coaches. I feel like I can talk to any parent, any mix, any race, any socioeconomic status. I try to fit in where I can to help get the best players here. And just being one of the longest tenured coaches here, that's just part of what Coach Smart wants, and whatever he wants from me, I'm going to definitely do it.
I think from the public standpoint, Dejon Edwards is maybe the least talked about running backs in this room. What can you tell people that they don't know about him? What does he bring to the table that they're going to see in a few weeks here?
He's really quiet. He's not going to be a boastful guy. He doesn't talk a whole lot. But what you're going to get is what you see on Saturdays that you've seen. He's very unselfish. He closed out a lot of games. He wasn't a guy that was pouting because he didn't get in earlier in the game. He adds value and has a role on special teams, and that's a very, very important component of our success on the football field. He's going to be a competitor, and he's having a great camp thus far, and he had a great spring too. So expecting great things out of Dejon, and he's graduated into a role where he's going to get snaps.
Dell, when Glenn came up and talked to us a few days ago, I mean, he talked about how long he's been here now. You two obviously were on that first staff. Just how much have things changed for you around the program from going way back then to where things stand now?
First off, we don't have to take that 15-minute bus ride to the solar panels. So that was that definite comfort. The only thing we lost in that was a little connection piece. You got a chance to talk to your players before and after practice on those bus rides. But the facility speaks for itself. I mean, it's the best facility in the country. Our kids are well deserving, and they're treated very, very well, and it adds to our practice efficiency on a day-to-day basis. Other than the fact of our fields not being side by side, I think that's probably the only drawback that we have right now, the distance that you have to travel from one field to another. And as much as we practice two spots, it will add yards, unwanted yards that's not needed, and it can cut efficiency of practice at times.
Dell, kind of invoke the coordinator part of your title. How have you seen this offense evolve and adapt with Todd bringing his principles in, kind of modernizing, quote unquote, but without forgetting the running part of it? What kind of made Georgia great?
First, it goes back to recruiting. We recruited very, very well on the offensive line, so everything starts up front. Going to Coach Monken, he's a very, very smart, detailed, consistent coach. He's gonna demand a lot from the coaches, and he also demands a lot of the players. I think he does a great job of identifying the personnel, what fits certain plays, trying to use the dynamics of each individual player to maximize their abilities on Saturdays. I would say his NFL system fits us. He didn't come in and try to change every single thing, and he's also open to ideas. That's one thing, gives us a lot of input. And when you talk about adding Mike Bobo, a 20-year plus coordinator, Buster Faulkner, who's a 11 plus coordinator, Brian McClendon, who's been an offensive coordinator as well, you have a lot of knowledge and experience, and he leans on that too. And I think it's a real joy to work with Coach Monken. I've learned a lot from him. Like I say, he's very particular in the details, the small things, the little things, and he holds everyone accountable.
Yeah, Dell, this applies to running backs, but I guess receivers too. How do y'all go about the decisions to rotate guys within a game? Is there a set plan going into it? Is it in the moment you hear who has the hot hand, who needs a break? Like, what are those decisions look like in terms of rotating guys in and out?
Well, the decisions are made during practice, so you got to show that you understand the details of the assignment, and then you got to execute whatever play is called during practice. And I think through practice, and you build days up and you stack days, you build confidence in the coaches, and you try to find roles for those guys. So everything that we do and make decisions about all come from how you do in practice and execute those assignments.
Coach Schumann the other day said that you guys as coaches are spending more time here with the players and the other coaches than you are your own families. He hated to admit that. But I wanted to know what that sacrifice has been like for you when you encompass your job in total: coaching, planning, recruiting. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what that sacrifice is?
If you're married, you got to have a strong wife at home to kind of choreograph the day of the kids and bills. I don't even know what's in my checking account. I don't do nothing in regards to house note insurance. So I think having a great leader at home is big, and then just stressing to your kids that this is a sacrifice. And you know, it's tough at times, but Coach Smart does a great job of allowing us to get back home and spend time with our families. You know, the biggest time consumptions are, you know, right now while we're in camp, but once you get into the season, you get in kind of a routine, and you know, from Saturday after the game all the way to Wednesday, you're gonna grind, and we get an opportunity to go straight home after practice on Wednesday. So we kind of have our day Wednesday as a family, and Thursday is the same. Sometimes it's not the case for myself or non-coordinators, because on Thursday sometimes we have to get in place to recruit and watch prospects play on Friday night. But it's part of the job, and I love the job that we have, and you know, it's us giving back